Aren't you two forgetting something?
Now you build in.
Skull and jaw from
Rob the people.
good.
That is it.
When you're slapped, you'll take it and like it.
Well, well, well. I think it's time to record a couple more reviews here. I'm going to apologize in advance if you catch any background noise. Our lovely cat wants to be able to go in and out of all the rooms at all points in time, meaning I have to leave my door open and expose us to some outdoor noise here. I think that we're just going to launch straight into the first review here. I don't really want to go through too much of the intro before we get into this one because we have a special visitor here, so let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Natured review. My name's Natured, and I'm going to be reviewing some footage from our local fighting practice today. And this is kind of an exciting one because we're kind of out in the boonies of Emerald Hills, and it was nice to have, I'm not sure what the occasion is, but to have a visitor today, even though I wasn't there. I heard our practice was extremely small today, but it was still nice to have a visitor come through. And I asked Angus here if he wouldn't mind recording some fights for me to kind of review here, because I've been wanting to talk more about our local fighters and the things that we're working on here and what people have been improving on and what they've improved from. And so yeah, I am going to try to keep track of the scores here in this little notepad I got going on. Do my best. We'll see how well these folks keep track of their wins, and we'll try to infer what we can as well through context clues. I did ask that they kind of throw a motion out whenever one of them scores a win, just so that we can keep track a little more easily, but we'll see how it goes. Let us begin. And we're probably going to cut this review into two parts just because I believe what this implies up here, that there's S and B and flow, and given that the first to fives and the length of the video is 11 minutes, I'm going to assume that there might be two best of fives that we review, but as I look deeper into this, maybe not. We'll see. So we have Sage here in the red fighting Flo, Angus, our local fighter, in the green fight and punch. Angus, not a natural lefty here. Angus is in fact a natural righty who decided that lefty is the lefty is the way to go, following very very much in the path of Glenn. I'm not sold, but we'll see. So this is kind of something that Angus and I have been talking about a little bit, as far as just like developing lefty shots for him. Is this idea of like throwing an opening shot, using that, I guess throwing an opening shot, trying to hide some movement with it, and then digging in and coming on through. Still working down getting the timing right for it. Basically, the idea is that you throw a shot from a little bit far out and a little bit shallowly into their guard, and then you use that to hide a step to crush in. And this is specifically against a righty board fighter to crush in, and then throw almost the exact same shot but deeper and with some more wrap to it. Here, looks like we come up and just tag the forearm really close to chest here. It's really a thing of pure luck this wasn't a clean chest. We do manage to kind of bat Angus's leg, get him down to the ground. Angus doing his best bell impersonation. While this is labeled as a bell fight, I would not be surprised at all if these are amp sticks that are being used here. I believe Angus, I've felt this weapon before. It's kind of a ridiculous bell bat. It's super nice. It's also incredibly back-weighted, so it's a fucking delight to use. And I guess we had a wrist pick here. It's hard to see from this angle. Looks like it might be glove behind the glove, impossible to see from here. So that's going to be one Sage. I always find stuff like this dangerous. Playing with the flow fighter's weapons here, I feel like it's a pretty committed way to start fucking with people. You can get your arm caught out. So one of the things that I always try to look for is just patterns, recognizing them and seeing how we can break them. And so it looked like there'd been a little bit of trouble with Angus getting close enough to throw shots. It seemed like he was really reaching quite a bit. Let's back it up a tiny bit. Like reach. And there we're starting to see more discipline. Yeah. Whiff in a reach. Whiff in a reach. And so hopefully what we see from here is Angus really start finding his range. And he does land this kill shot coming up, which does land very nicely. Kept the hand pretty close to the shield there. It's so important when you're extending into zone to fight against a flow fighter that you have your hand protected as a boardman. Still feels like Angus is having a hard time finding his range. He's super far out. Gotcha. Look, if there was a cross shot there from Sage's backhand. Picks up the forearm right there. Also, we're 1-1. Look at me. I remembered. What was that just popped up on my screen? Oh. Been watching too much Shane Gillis recently. My dump away here, and I don't think it's good, but the way that I dump out of this fight is always just trying to go for the big stab in the trade, or like the Omega Deep back wrap. Calling down an arm here on Sage. Let's see where we can spot where this lands at. Hard to see there, of course. But we can see it coming back off the forearm and wrist here. See, it definitely looked like it could have been hand in front of body again, catching that block.
So, 2-1? Yep.
2-1 confirmed. Sounds like we got one boy David here recording. What up, David? AKA Lysander. Trade.
How about draw cut on the back? No. 2-2? Yeah.
I agree with that. It did look like a draw cut. Initially, I thought the stab might have been good, but it's always so hard to tell. In fact, if I had like laser Hawkeye vision, it is pretty easy to see how far this goes past the shield here. Yeah, so smooth. Definitely a miss. And I think this is something that Angus has the potential to become really, really good at as he keeps finding his range. Is just his ability to really aggressively close into the zone here and land. Very athletic guy. Got a really good build to be a super mobile, frustrating fighter. I feel like he doesn't fight a lot of... There may be a couple guys out at the park that are as, like, rangy and jumpy... Not jumpy, but rangy and mobile as he is. That might make him work really hard, but I feel like he may be looking for someone to challenge him to really up his mobility. To see how good he can really get with it. Call an arm again here. Yeah, definitely clean arm. And again, arguable from here. Maybe there is some contact with the body. It's hard to say from this angle. I always want to default to trusting our fighters here. Alright, this should be an easy walk down win from Angus. Are we going to call all cloth on this? Okay, I can see it. I mean, it's hard to say, right? I will say that at this point, just as like an observation, there have been like 3 or 4 shots where I've had to stop and look again here at Sage. So either there is just kind of a persistent problem with Angus finding his range.
Are you okay?
Maybe there's a little bit of excitement going on. Was that straight to the boys? Well, that'd be 3 Angus, correct?
Take your time.
They just call 3-3. Let's listen again. Let's listen again.
Quick right leg and left hand. Right at the end. Take your time. 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. Okay.
I like to jump. I was just going for your leg, I'm sorry. It's alright.
It's a legal strike zone, boys.
I saw the look in your eyes.
Huh?
I saw the look in your eyes.
Well, I mean, it's a little funny sometimes. I've been on the receiving end plenty of times.
Well, I guess that's one of the reasons why the video could be quite long. If Angus keeps ball shotting people.
Dead. 3-3. Yeah, please. 3-3. Yeah.
Looks like Angus is asking 3-3 there to confirm it was a Simo.
Dead.
It's alright. I want to show you guys the body language I've been seeing that I love. Let me do it with my, what do I got here that I can motion around? We'll do it with this fucking this lighter here. Alright. So if you're being recorded and you win, take your little sword, wiggle it above your head. If you're in a first to 10 and you lose, take your gear and give me the big no. Give me the big Simo. I believe we are 3-3 after the trade there.
Yeah, please.
Also, and I cannot emphasize this enough, leash your fucking dog, lady. Leash your fucking dog. Leash your fucking dog. Leash your fucking dog. Sometimes I've walked a dog. Sometimes that dog has been dog aggressive. Sometimes I've gotten bitten because your dumb fucking dog runs up on my dog that is dog aggressive and I get bit in the fight. Leash your fucking dog. Leash your dog. Leash your dog. Ugh, leash your fucking dogs. I'm triggered. Keep them out of traffic. Close on the leg. Kind of delayed reaction on taking an arm there. It seems super light and gentle. Like this seems like an abundance of nicety in my opinion. Oh wait, no, okay, I guess they are okay, so we are a triple chartered park, and so I guess under the AMP rule set here, this is probably good. Ooh. A little bit of confusion there. Let's review it. That's what we're here for. So we got Angus getting the nice hand block and entry here. Looks like from what we can see in our 2D plane of observation, maybe some forearm, maybe some chin, and then yeah. Looks like down to the wrist.
I feel something here, but I'm not with it. You got on right there. I say it looked like you got you, but
Agreed.
So 4-3. Yeah, correct.
4-3. Is that the call?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Good. I feel like that showed a lot of control from Angus just there. He was managed to pick the arm and not just like either A, get sloppy, or B, get overly aggressive. Stayed in that nice tight guard. Also, I just realized this whole time, this whole T minus this song thing has been afloat in here. Oh well, we're not re-recording. I kind of feel like we have to re-record, right? Hey, David.
Oh, you got left arm shield and bottom left leg.
Yeah, range control is a term for it. I feel like what we're seeing a lot of here is a lot of Sage straight backing up and kind of a lack of options from Angus here. I'd kind of like to see him at this point, you know, talking about pattern recognition. The main pattern that I'm seeing here is Sage is backing up a lot, and I'd like to see Angus doing a bit more of the same. Like, if your opponent is backing up and you're comfortable advancing, fine. Like, you know, play to your strengths, but you're also playing into his strengths, which is like, meh. I think that, you know, if I was fighting somebody who was backing up constantly and I was being nice and aware and smart in the moment, you'd eventually want a gear change and start backing up, start fighting more neutrally. Yep, Simo. So he just backs. And I feel like we're still struggling to see Angus find his good range. I mean, this is such a money shot, right? But because it's being thrown from a little bit of a weird position, like again, maybe there's like a tiny bit of contact with the arm here, maybe none at all. Definitely a lot of sword on it. Ah, the double chop. Little Twin Heavens action there. This is what I mean, it's like... What was that? Like, this is what I mean. Like, we get caught in these long exchanges, right? Where Angus is either static or the one that's always coming in. Very rarely do we see Sage being the aggressor as far as his footwork goes. I kind of hate Amtgard. The little stab there made me maybe a little bit fussy. I think we should be at 5 Sage now, right?
Nice. 4 Sage.
5-4? Maybe we're going all the way to 10.
Well, if you're gonna do it,
You got to 5. We got 7 minutes of video, like pretty good.
just switch
Your
it
choice?
and do another 5 if you guys want to go again.
Hmm?
Because you guys were pretty evenly matched that way.
So 5-4 was
Short
the
break.
call.
You want me to stop recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Resume.
Okay, so we got some flow v flow. Okay, so they do 2 sets of 5. All right. Oh, this is my least favorite matchup. One Angus. I agree, Daedalus. I've seen that tag before, but I can't remember who you are in reality. 2 first to 6? Okay, that's what I thought. Man, I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I feel like I am so Angus biased that it's making me want me to review every time Angus loses. So I can be like, did he though? Or did this guy fucking cheat him out? Because my ego wants me to be like, the boy from home did good. Which is kind of fucked up, man, because like, nobody's allowed to cheat at the park except me. Whoop. Angus fighting double bell bats. Like a true lad. Yep, good stab. Good stab. I believe that's 2 Sage so far. I think there was a posted called there. here comes that girl with her unleashed dog again.
Close. He said close.
Close? How close was it? Yeah, good positive block from Angus there. I thought that was Yukizo. See, talking about just like a weird range thing to see Angus do. Okay, I went too far back. So, like, hold on. So again, I don't really like this kind of, like, fucking with people.
Close. He said close.
It's a lot of commitment to actually put your sword on their sword and direct it around. Like, this is a great, like, block, right? This is pretty nice. I don't understand why we're swinging back for the sword, though. And I don't think Angus is intentionally swinging for the sword here. But, like, this is such a great moment where if Angus was a little bit more in control of his range, like, this could be, if we're super sick, this could be top of body. If we're regular sick, this could be forearm. But then again, I'm saying that it would be very hard for Angus to get close enough to throw this because of how low and threatening the sword is here. It's a hard position.
Oh, you got it.
Clearing it up. Good job, Angus, with the crazy duck shot. We're definitely going to review that. Yeah, so we have our fighter here, Sage, posted. This is what I mean by I think Angus has the ability to get some crazy things done as far as like his mobility, his flexibility, his athleticism goes. This is such a sneaky slip in, slip away. You can see kind of see the look on his face. He's like, oh, that happened. Board fighters be like, me dark side.
Good.
Yep. Board fighters be like, let's dark side, and then they make it work. Like just this is my shield. There's my dark side. Well, Kizo, if you want to be good in the tournament scene, which I know Angus does, you definitely have to have a game plan.
Felt a hit on my back. I think there was. He was. Yeah, I can try.
Trade.
No, it's fine. I just want to make sure we're connected. That was 3-4 or 2-4.
It was 3-3, but
So 3-4.
who won?
I did.
Okay. You definitely need a plan to fight. You know, people he haven't fought before. I know it's one of the Angus's hardest things. He has a lot of responsibilities that keep him in town. Really seeing Angus starting to like dedicate that left hand just to blocking. Way to clean it up. 4-4.
All the marbles.
I don't know what you mean by he's an air fighter, aside from like the fact that he whiffs shots and hits only air, which is not a thing you should be doing. It would not be ideal. Good.
Right,
Way to
so
clean
you
it
guys
up,
are
Angus.
pretty evenly matched.
Do you have a Facebook or a phone number?
And then Angus, of course, goes to solicit the ban. So I think my main takeaways from both of those, and I've definitely been focusing on Angus because he is our local fighter. My main takeaway from both of those is just really trying to get that. I think Kizo, you definitely hit on this too. Weeks against fighters you don't know, especially folks that are good at hiding their range. I can definitely see a little bit of that. You know, Sage here looks like a definitely pretty willowy fighter. Fights at a long range, backs up really often, and there were definitely a lot of times where I felt like Angus was struggling to find the sweet spot to sit inside of. Well, yeah, that is a good thing to take away. A good piece of like third person perspective. Maybe Cuso. That kind of strays a little bit far into the philosophy side of things that I try to stay far away from when it comes to fighting. I'm pretty mechanically minded when it comes to fighting. Um, and what's funny is that I'm going to go ahead and cut off the recording here, but we probably end up talking about and agreeing about many of the same concepts, just using different terminology for it. Um, so like if I was going to I always try to phrase things in really actionable praxis enriched pieces of like data. That way I'm not telling you like you got to be a water fighter and now let me explain a ton of context. I'm able to say, okay, so the problem here is that Angus is constantly feeling like a half step too shallow. Now that's something we can pull out and drill on and work on getting that half step deeper because there was never really a problem with Angus backing up and being too far outside. The problem always seemed to be with Angus closing or throwing shots in the middle of an exchange and coming up, short a good number of the time. So I think that's definitely a place we can work on to get better with. Yeah, hopefully I get a chance to fight Angus soon too. I'm going to go ahead and set up our next little video here. Do 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 do. Respond to some correspondence. Okay. I say all that about the philosophy side of things, but, I definitely am somebody who's talked about the differences between like rogue style and wheel style and things like that, torch style. But at least those things are, rooted in fighting companies that have a very specific like style of fighting, modality of fighting, especially when it comes to the rogue company. Like not quite a rule book for it, but pretty close. This is my house guard. These are my inside-outside lanes. Yeah, David, and you have that advantage of being a taller fighter, and also like you throw from range pretty well, and so I imagine with you aggressing in on him, you're able to land a little bit more often. I think Angus has kind of done a disservice by fighting guys like you and me a whole bunch who aren't super mobile, and I think that if he fought somebody who really pushed him to up his mobility, he'd unlock some new tools. Yeah, exactly. Footwork drills, and specifically what I'd like to work on with Angus, and I think that it might be part of the reason why he's having such a hard time with that lefty shot we've been working on, where like you throw to jam that lane, that sword side lane, and lefty versus righty board. Throw to jam the lane, that jam covers a step, which gets you in range to scoop up and under into a wrap. I think part of the reason why he might be having a little bit of a struggle with that is that range control deficiency. Obviously, I'm a very mid-tier fighter, but that is something that, like, for me, I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of that concept of varying the depth of your shots that you're throwing. And so I think that if Angus, as he becomes more of a cunning whacksmith with time and can really fuck with people when it comes to that range, plus his mobility, his ability to close range in weird dynamic ways, be an absolute fucking monster. Like the image of Angus being way outside in like C range and throwing like a shot into the sword side lane to cover that forward step, and then able to, like, from that same position, catch a block if you need to, then immediately respond up and under with a hip scoop. Not only is that like a very solid mechanically like three-shot lefty kind of like maneuver, once you get people scared of that, once they start cheating that shield side over a little bit, opens up a lot more. Cheating is a good way. Okay, for a second I was just reading the first part of your statement as cheating is a good way to deal with range disparity, and I'm like, fuck, you're not wrong. Okay. Well, let's launch right into our second review here. Also from today's practice, I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button so I can intro this, and we'll get into it. Clear my sinuses real quick. All right. Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Natured Review. I'm Natured. Today we're going to be reviewing some footage from our local park again. Today we're going to be looking at some buckler and bat fighting between Nash on the left here and Angus the Beefy on the right. It looks like we are in the Bell rule set. Nash is fighting with what appears to be a 36-inch flat blade, while I think what Angus has is a Repad Gorg secret bat. I know Nash also does HEMA, or has in the past. I'm unsure of how much. I believe that this is the first fighting park he's ever been a member of, and he's still pretty new here. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, I don't think buckler fighting is like super optimal, but damn is it fun. And Nash knows what he's doing. He seems to prefer the up spike here on the buckler, which, like, if I wanted to have a spike in my upper quadrant, I would just rotate my buckler like Angus is doing here. Clean, came through. That's a pretty shot. Yeah. I feel like this is, again, an issue that we can boil down to just understanding of range and how angles work as you close. Like, if Angus had just kept this stick in about this position and rode in farther, I think it would have been fine. In an ideal situation, I think that you ride this block with your bat into blocking with your buckler. But this buckler just hangs out here in space and gets Angus killed. And so I think that one of the reasons that is happening a lot, or is happening right here with Angus, is that, again, he's transitioning to being a left-handed shield fighter. It is so hard for me personally. Like, I can do left-handed sword. I cannot do right-handed shield. And with a very, very small shield like what Angus has here, there's very little room for error.
What, Angus?
Oh, is that a call on Angus here? Oh, what in the same hell did I just see? Okay, it looked like there was a disagreement there. Yeah.
What, Angus?
Thanks for the call on that one, David. Yeah, and I guess it is a thing from a HEMA background, too, as well. The draw cuts. And, like, thrusts are really good, for sure, but in a game where everything bounces, it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, even, like, this rotational movement you see here.
Angus?
This rotational movement you see here. This is straight-up thrust-based fencing that we see from Nash there, this, like, moving up and, like, back in. That is somebody who is purely planning on thrusting with you.
Angus?
Yeah, it could be an accuracy problem too, David. Because, you know, if the thrust landed more square, they would be less draw-y. Okay, sick little cut to the inside of the wrist there. Yeah, it was very close. Yeah.
Oh, alright. What's the army?
Trade up for Nash, looks
One
like.
for Nash?
Yep. Yeah. So just kind
Three
of
Angus, one Nash.
a general buckler fighting thing, something that I was chatting with Curai about. their glamorous dameship, Warlord Curai. And I was asking her, like, so when, like, you fight Buckler, how does she do it? And because, for me, what I was recommending was trying to, like, double tap, because those bucklers are so small, you might catch somebody, like, raising their shield to block something, then resetting their guard, and not raising it again in time to catch the double tap. And so I thought, like, yeah, I double tap that. And Kira brought up a really good point where she said, instead of just double tapping, what she'll do is just throw a couple of fakes from the outside to just gather some data. And the way she put it was like, buckler fighters will generally tell you where it is they want you to hit them. And that's just like, they have to be so reactive with their buckler that by throwing a few fakes along the way, you're able to see what it is they're not willing to guard. And it's kind of the same thing that, like, I do gathering data, just way more efficient. Because, like, for me, if I double tap somebody and it lands, I know that's a good shot. If I double tap somebody and they're so dedicated to blocking it, then I know that I can, like, probably now fake that and go other places. Well, instead of showing my hand or putting all the commitment into an actual shot, I could just be faking first and trying to gather that data and then making a game plan. So I think that the low grade Simian Spirit Mind part of this would be to, like, tap, double tap, and check, and then the higher brain whack god / goddess / non-binary deity way to do it would be to tap it out or fake it out.
You took the arm and then got the shield.
5 Angus, 1 Nash.
One was a shield.
Yeah. Hit a piece of gear being held by a dead arm. Functionally passes through the gear
5
into
Angus,
the
1
dead
Nash.
limb. There's a lot of sword movement out of Nash here. Something we talked about at Park a few months back.
6 Angus, 1 Nash from the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's whatever. What was I going to say? Oh, fakes. We did talk about fakes a little while back at the park, and what I see a lot of Nash doing here... Simon? Yeah. I see a lot of what Nash is doing here is the bad kind of fakes, where it's a lot of sword movement and a lot of hand movement. That was a strange choice. A lot of sword,
7 Angus, 1 Nash.
a lot of sword movement and a lot of hand movement, but no body or chest behind it, no shoulder behind it. We jam the stab in there.
8.
I love me a good jam stab. Yeah. This is what I mean about Angus's mobility and his ability to close range in sudden ways. Like, definitely out of range, and then boom, able to hit this lunge. Nash even managed to get a little bit of shield on it, but not enough. Look at his face. He's like, oof, I got stabbed. Yep, right to the left pec.
8 Angus, 1 Nash.
8 Angus, 1 Nash. We always got to look at the pretty shots more, right? So we get the stab here, and then this looks in time if it is indeed a back shot. May have just been try. Simo, okay. Stab directly to the face. Hema fighters be like. Well, David, I hope you continue to feel better, buddy.
Blind him.
I don't know if it was back-related reasons that had you up late or what, but I hope it keeps getting better. Good.
9 Angus, 1 Nash.
Up to 9 now. I missed updating to 8.
9 Angus, 2 Nash.
Yeah, 6 stab Nash.
9 2, 2 Simos.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, y'all went to that speakeasy. Which is like, I don't know if y'all know this. You don't got to go to speakeasies anymore. They're actual legal bars you can go drink inside of.
10-2, 2 Simos.
Yes. Oh, why'd it cut? Why'd it cut? Why'd it cut? It was just about to get good. Oh, that's funny. Well, I have a hard time pulling takeaways from that one. I feel like there we saw a little glimpse of like what Angus I believe is totally capable of if he is really on point. His mobility is super solid when he's fighting. Buckler's funny. You know, it is what it is. That sounds all right, David. That sounds all right. Let's see. Last thing here is we have an under 7 Orders of the Warrior tournament here, and I have a side quest. Okay. I know that I've seen this fighter before, and I can't remember their name. And this fighter fights out of Dominion? I know his real name, but I think his persona name is Haru? I don't know. But yeah, I believe this is a fighter out of Dominion here. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of chill and vibe for a second. Oh man. Some short stories on stage. Well, I hope they were good. Did those short stories improve your flat rap, though, David? Is the big question. Okay, yeah, Gigas. Man, I don't remember that name, but I know I've seen that dude before. Yeah, Gigas is the teardrop, right? What? It might have temporarily influed my flat rap. Well, that's ideal then, David. Just keep drinking. Okay. Well, guys, gals, non-binary pals, I'm gonna take about a 5 minute or less break just to go use the restroom, and then I'll be right back and we'll get back into this recording. Oh, here, Cuzo, da, 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 da. Okay, so this is Gigos, right? And then this red shielded fighter, Haru? Show us your face. Now I'm talking about these two fighters right here. This guy I feel like I've hung out with before. This dude here I know I've hung out with before. But these are the two I'm trying to figure out the name of. So I'll be right back. If you want to leave me a message, just say like, right person is this, left person. Nanashi. Oh, I'm never gonna remember that name. It's too soft. Literally, the syllables are too soft. I have a hard time with that. At least Cuzo is like motherfucking Cuzo. Done. Alright, be right back. Enjoy my be right back screen. All right. Oh, kind of got a headache. Maybe too much cheap beer too fast. Take a couple of Daddy's Little Helpers here. Some of that sweet, sweet Tylenol. All right. Whew. Well, I am tired, but I wanted to get through 3 videos. So let's get through 3 videos. All right. No, David, I had it. There's some part on it. Yeah, I miss Vanguard a lot. There was some part on my gun that after I went shooting this most recent time, it fucking rattles. And like whenever the AC kicks on, it'll hit it just right that it'll start rattling. And I'm pretty sure I just gotta like reset the hooks that it's on a bit better into the wall because they've been hanging there for a long time, but it just got annoying, so it's just laying on the ground behind me. No YouTube rules. It also barely looks like a real gun, so that helps. Looks like airsoft is all hell. Man. Yeah, so quick little aside here. And Cuzo, you may have seen my post about it, just talking about Vanguard boys and boys from that area, but fucking Crotuck. I went out to Asylum a few weeks back, got to fight Crotuck. And Crotuck had this, like, it had to have been like a 2.5, 3 pound blue that was like 34 inches long. It was a flat blade, and it was covered in like floral print, like bed sheet covering. And he hit me so hard, like it was a straight chop right to where like my trap met my neck. Super clean, super awesome top of the body shot. It is the hardest I've been hit by like a single-handed weapon in years. It hit me so hard that it made my ears ring because of how loud the sound of it was. And yeah, I thought I was gonna be fucked up from it the next day, but I woke up and I felt just fine. So I was like, Crotuck, dude, what the fuck? He's like, I'm sorry, man. I've been doing SCA. And I was like, no, I'm just like impressed. Like, holy shit. And he's like, yep, that's my night killing shot. And I was like, you used your night killing shot on little old me? I feel so touched and honored. All right. Let's get rolling here. Hello everyone, my name is Natred. We're back here for the final Natred review of this streaming session. If you didn't know, I am trying to stream my recording sessions, because like why not? I'm already sitting in my chair talking to a camera, may as well just leave it running the whole time. And yeah, for our last review, we're going to be looking at the 7 Orders of the Warrior and under, open pits from Known World War. So unfortunately we don't get the brackets from this. I don't know if this channel posted the brackets. The Empire of Rivermore. It looks like that's it. Okay. So just the pits. Yeah, I love Crotuck. He's good vibes. But yeah, I feel like these are some fighters who I might actually be able to relate to a good deal on skill level. I might be a little bit more experienced in some of them and may have some like more actionable pieces of advice to give. Let's see. Are we gonna have techno music the whole time? I guess so. I guess there's gonna be techno music. Yep, a little touch over the top. I like the combo of super long Amtgard sword and downstick in the open. Cross, yep. I feel like I wouldn't want to use the long stick against other board fighters. Against other board fighters. Here's where I'd want to transition to my super long. Tag floating hand there.
Good, nicely done.
Yeah, way to dig in. The second you're fighting somebody and they're using, like, I'm gonna turn down the video volume a little bit. Second you're fighting somebody and they have this long of a lever in their hand, you really want to like find a way to crush in on it. And this is great. Small shield. And look like eye contact on this guy's big sword. Completely blocks it out and planes it out. And is able to come in and easily clean it up. I like fighting with a little bit too long of weapon and board. It is scary. It is difficult to put your sword this low because your shots are so limited from that position. Yeah, like the second you're here, we all know where you're going to be swinging.
Good, nicely done.
Pick the little tap on the body. It's Selena. I miss when Selena lived in Tulsa. They were fun to fight. Oh, Selena with a little bit of the hair flip there. So we get to land this little rising chop, actually, I mean like a rising chop, little rising flip over wrap. A reverse wrap that ends up at full extension. Quite the nice little technical shot. Into the block. Into air. And Selena's who just like, wait, what the fuck? I love this teardrop. A fighter after my own heart. Okay, so this is something I love to see from lefties. Is this shoulder bait? Is this real? Or is this bait? I don't know. I don't give a shit. If a lefty has their shoulder that exposed, I'm going to crank for it. And if they move their shield all the way from here to here, now I know I can probably fake this and watch them crank it. And if you're watching earlier in the stream or watched one of the earlier two fights or videos I did this streaming session, we talked about how talking with Dame Curai and how she sets up buckler fighters, trying to see like where they'll let her hit them. And I feel like you can do the same thing here. Instead of throwing the shot, just fake for this fucking shoulder here. And you don't even really gotta do a like big amount of movement. There's a little bit of a chest and hand movement, and just a step to the left, and see how much they respond. It was very close. I went for this high cross, but it was not set up at all. Yeah, so now it's like, okay. Especially at this point, if I had a round 2 against this guy, now I know, like, okay, you will move your shield to block that shot. Now I can probably fake it.
Only 3?
Nanashi and Kigas. Now, obviously, Gigas is holding that shield a little bit higher to the right here, but even then, look at how committed we are with that shield covering the left hip and left arm. I love this shot. Look at that boy's back.
You have to say shield crushing.
I'm not gonna lie, I like listening to music while I fight. The house is a little bit confusing. Oh, I thought that was just hit 5. Maybe not. That's always a hard matchup for the flow fighter. Picked it up though. Good take. Yeah, clip the other leg. Good. Oh, flails. Oh, flails. Way to clear it out, Selena. Good job. Okay, so a little bit of ambiguity there. Let's break it down a little bit. So they might have clipped elbow for the shield, and then contact with the inside forearm on the left here. Okay, reset with Selena at both arms. Got it. Pick the leg. Yeah, I agree with Selena here. I really like the way that they're decided to post. So keeping your posted leg in front, if you do choose to post, I think is always optimal, because with that posted leg in front, you always reserve the right to switch your feet over and lunge. Yeah, resetting there. Yeah. Yeah, I got blocked out. Man, all respect due, this guy on the right, it's kind of a goober. That's not a negative statement. It's not a positive statement in it, it's just an observation. Some people are goobers. This guy might be a gooby. Yeah, got the poke. Also, man, pole in this small of an arena, that's rough. Yep, good. Ooh, the down pull v down pull. Awkward. Yeah, good shot. Also love that Good's magic gear. This seems really hard, because like as a down pull fighter, so much of what you're capitalizing on are right-handed boardmen, right? And the second they switch off, yeah, I agree. It was goober status all the way. I feel like whenever you switch off and now you have a lefty pullman, now it's like a real gut check moment for a downstick fighter. It's probably so awkward to switch that downstick over to the other hand after you've conditioned it so long to attack open board sides. So I wonder if there's a game plan here, like what the idea is. Yeah, I know I find it awkward when I'm fighting Florentine and somebody is a left-handed shieldman, because all my game is tied up in fighting righty shieldmen. Yeah, awkward. There you go. All right, goober status. Got the classical defensive guard here. Yep. It's also just hard fighting with a pole in that small of a enclosure. There it is. There it is. Absolutely love it all day. That is my fucking bread and butter right there. Yeah. And like he tries to bring the shield up to block it, and there's just no chance. I've accepted that you can always fight flail in open. I've also just accepted that I don't want to win that much. I don't really want to be a flail fighter. I'd like to be a sword fighter, thank you. Or at least a mace fighter. A non-segmented weapon fighter. Looks like 2 dead. So, I'll preface this with, I'm not a pole fighter nowadays. I was a pole fighter once upon a time. And, yeah, this feels weird, right? Like, so, you have our fighter here fighting, like, with his right hand forward. You have this fighter fighting with his right hand forward, or left hand forward, left foot forward. But he has his weapon going diagonal across their body and pointed towards the ground. And so what we've done here is created a big blocking surface and a ranging tool to keep them at range. But you're so limited from this stance here on how you can throw your shots. And what the natural thing is going to do, what your body's going to want to do, is throw towards the side your chest is facing. And the side this fellow's chest is facing is the board side for our other fighter here. This is a big reason why I'm a big fan of the reverse foregrip, fighting with that right hand forward and reversed going the other way. There's a great Fool's Guard video about pole fighting somewhere on YouTube. Go find it. I might pull it up here in a second after we get done with the recording session, but this just seems like you're limiting your own options a whole lot. Dagger on a big stick is the way. I don't know what that means. Unless you mean they should have a backup, in which case I 100% agree with you. It is open after all.
I got lucky! No, I'm dead! You didn't get lucky? No, I'm sorry, I had it. It's for real.
I was sure we were able to see what was going on there.
You didn't get lucky? No, I'm sorry, I had it. Stop trying.
Picks up the little cheeky gut stab.
You've never won? Hell yeah!
Oh, Amtgard polls make me cringe. What the fuck is this, dude? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I am fucking got your thumb broken. I don't know, man. Have giant meat thumbs. Have big old sausage fingies. I don't know. I've never had a bad hand injury from foam fighting. But this shit right here, this shit's unacceptable. What the fuck is this? I've tried very hard to limit my toxicity as a fighter, to grow and change as a person, to become better, more wholesome and accepting. I want to see this guy's pole break. I want to see it snap right fucking in half.
2 is not a winner. 3 to 1 whatever.
I was ready for that weird stab. It's like a... I'm like, oh, run into it.
Come on, delete this guy, big green sword. By the 9 divines. Speed stick on a stick. The best part is that the chat's really desynced, so I don't know if we're talking about flails or what. One thing I do like about the DAG rule set is, like, at least reds are always reds. So if you leg somebody, and I would not advise this in this small of an arena, if you're fighting punch and pie, if you have a min red and a board and you leg somebody, the rule set will always allow you to drop that board and just red the fuck out of their shield. Hard to do in this small of an arena. Easy to get knee walked down, especially if you're a big old chungus like me. Yep. Now it's difficult. I almost want to start saying, like, do you just stop, drop, and roll for the back leg? Yeah, no, it's actually legit. It's actually legit. Because look at that little hop forward. Look how much we pushed into a corner here.
Bite your ankles.
All right, Selena, delete this fool. Oh, speed stick on a stick. I got you. Yeah.
2 minutes 40 seconds.
So let's review this real quick, because I think this is a great example. Yeah, this isn't. Never mind. I thought this was all good, clean blocks from our flail fighter. Instead, we see, and again, I try hard to be nice. We see what looks like a good shot, and then what I would like to consider this Amtgard bullshit from our bat fighter here. Like this. This is a strike in what you might consider a combat game. It's combat. I'm striking you. Struck. This, as I drink more beer and get older, we'll refer to as bullshit. Like this little like pop back and then just kind of freezing there. Ah man. Pop, pop. Throw some strikes with some conviction. Okay, both dead.
You were ready after we cut because I'm never gonna run.
Both legs, you say? You know, I was gonna call it bullshit, but if you look, looks like we might get a good flick on this front leg here. And then nice flexion on the pole on the back leg. Yep, might be a good 2 solid shots there. If he had switched his stance for pole on the board side, it would have been a lot better for the pole. So like that means that my pole would be on the right side of my body to be on his left side. I don't know. It's hard for me to think about that without actually standing up and seeing it. This is a bit like better, I feel like, from general pole positioning. I just went a little bit too ham. Too ham on a biscuit there. But even here, let's get through to the next fight. Like even here, it feels like you're really limiting yourself, right? You're costing yourself range because you're having to come across your body with where your pole's positioned. You're costing yourself some shot selection, where I feel like if we switched, if we took this right foot, put it forward, put the sword, or put the blade end on the other side here, now all of a sudden we have a clean arc of shots on this side. Moddies are legit. Also, love you, Skeeth. Very long time no see. I hope SCA is going great for you. This is kind of how I wish Angus would fight a bit more. Watch how this small shieldy guy goes. Look at how this footwork. It's closing all the way in, but it doesn't feel sloppy. It feels pretty tight all the way through. Trade? Yeah. I wish that skinny pole fighter all the best in the world. but I also want to drop all of my fat ass on that pole. I want to read what David's saying here. I'm not probably explaining it great, but you should be set up to throw shots on into the sword side over and over and over. Exactly. And if your blade is coming across your body, then I feel like you can throw shots at that sword side, but you can't really threaten them. And then as that shieldman crushes you, you get that blade more and more trapped against past your body. Whereas like if I'm turned this way and like attacking that sword side all the way through, I'm able to continue attacking. You can do it front grip if you want to, you can do it reverse grip, but that whole way in, you're able to attack that open side of the shield. Good stab. So we got maybe one fight left. Maybe another fight. Yeah. Again, big overcommitment. This is a lot of commitment to the guard. So much commitment that yeah, you can kind of just like pick your stabs from range. You can't just stand there and poke away. You can't just stand there and block away. You got to threaten your opponent. Half of what makes a good defense good is the fact that your opponent is staying under threat, and so therefore has to be a little bit more respectful of what's going on. But yeah, that was kind of a fun one to watch through. I kind of wish there wasn't any music to go along with it, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and chop off this review here, keep the stream rolling a little bit. Alright, so that's 3 videos done tonight. Oh yeah, if you want to see the why does it not close to A range? It depends on which fighter we're talking about. Unfortunately, my chat is really desynced with you guys. Yeah, so... Ski, take a second. If you want to tell me who it was you were talking about, I'll go back and look at it here. Also, while I'm waiting on that for a second, do you want to see the most punk rock thing you've ever seen? How about an all-black punk band, literally named Negro Terror, singing repurposed white nationalist songs? As far as I understand. I think this used to be like a Nazi punk song that they fucking like took and made it into a not Nazi punk song.
Like to keep us flying, trying to bleed my city like the
Interesting. Interesting. What's happening? I think I need to fix something real quick. Weird, guys. Weird. I got a strange thing going on. Okay, I need to restart. Okay.